Hello and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Soup. I am Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey,
What?
along here with... What?
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
That's my thing. I bring us in.
No, I successioned you.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, man.
Yeah.
Hit me with a bear hug.
I'm
I
on
wasn't
top
even
now,
looking.
yeah.
That makes me Cousin Greg, huh?
Makes you Shiv. I Tom'd you.
Oh, that's fine with me. Now I'm hot. I'm a baddie. I've always wanted to be a baddie.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a dweeb.
Yeah, I'm about to cuck you.
Want to switch?
Hell no. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Soup. I am Beau Oliver, joined here today with Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey, and we are back to review Succession, Season 4, Episode 1, The Munsters, directed by Mark Malloyd, coming over from The Menu, and written by series creator Jesse Armstrong. I thought that this episode hit the ground running, man. It was Succession, right? All the characters that we know and hate to love. It was just so funny, man. And that's the thing. When people talk about Succession entering the pantheon of greatest TV shows of all time, it's because of the humor. The Sopranos, The Wire, they work for different reasons, but something they share in common is the humor. This may be the funniest out of the three. I don't know if it's the best out of the three, but God, dude, I just thinking about some of the jokes in this episode made me laugh throughout the rest of the night, and I thought it was a great start to Season 4. And it's funny, we joked about me cucking you because I'm Shiv and you're Tom.
Yeah.
Now Tom's doing the cucking.
Yeah, so...
Turntables.
Are we getting divorced?
No, let's just keep this thing rolling, right? It's fun. I feel like we're at Season 3.
Yeah.
Let's see where this ends.
Mutual beneficial arrangement.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to betray me now.
Ooh.
You have to flip it.
Nice.
You just sell me out to Teddy in some way. I don't know how that's gonna
I'm
work.
gonna fuck Ted.
Oh, you're just gonna straight up fuck Ted? You're gonna do a Breaking Bad reference
yeah,
too?
Yeah. We're tying it all together.
Right, yeah. Well, that's why I married you.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, this show is just... I said like it operates on a different level, and that's one of the reasons why I think so, because not only is it just amazing dramatic writing, but the comedy is so well done. It literally plays, if you want to do like laughs per minute, like I know it's a metric people use when discussing comedy shows, like it's up there probably with most of the best comedies that are running too. So it just operates on so many different levels at such a high level, and right from the very start, like you're just thrusted back in this world. You're kind of confused a little because you don't know what's going on, how much time's passed since the end of season 3, but once you're kind of back on track, it's just a seamless transition in between seasons. And towards the end, when like the main, I guess, setup for the rest of the season starts to kick in, like my heart was racing. I wanted to see where it was going to go. It just drew me right back in effortlessly.
Definitely, and it was so fun to see the Roy children, instead of battling each other and fighting for their father's attention and approval, now they're united, they're pitching their own company. But what brings them right back into the fold, it's this chance, one last fuck you to Logan, right?
Yeah.
And Roman's the only one who's sort of thinking with his head instead of thinking with his feelings. I think Kendall and Shiv see the opportunity to have a more established name moving forward, but it's those family dynamics, right? They just can't resist each other. And with Logan, it was similar, right? You know, he's kind of sulking around his birthday party. There's a big contrast between his party in season 1 and now his party in season 4, where he's surrounded by people who are not family, sort of like family, but he doesn't have that sort of relationship like he does with his kids, right? When they can rub shoulders and riff and make fun of him, and now that's gone, and he seems a little sad about it.
No, I felt bad for Logan this episode. Not only the birthday party, but when he tells Colin he's his best friend, I was like, oh.
That was really sad. It was like he was talking right past him.
Yeah.
Like, you're my best friend by default because I have no other friends.
Yeah.
At the very least, you're not Frank or Carl.
No, Frank and Carl suck. But yeah, seeing the kids together, that was nice. I mean, the 100, I don't know, it sounds like I just threw out a bunch of buzzwords.
So funny, dude.
I don't know what the business was.
No idea. Well, it sounds like a true business, right? That you would see in the real world. Like, what do they do exactly? Oh, we do everything.
Yeah.
We have the best writers. We have the best news covering sports and this and that. Yeah.
But yeah, like the unspoken thing, like the first couple minutes, like when they hear about Pierce, like you could tell they shifted immediately towards that. And yeah, like you said, it gives them an established name with a field that they're already very experienced in. But like you said, it also fucks over their father. So it's a win-win.
Right. In their minds, it's a win-win. But, the line that Logan has when he calls them up and tells them that they're fucking idiots for making that bid.
Congratulations on saying the biggest number, you fucking morons.
Once again, I think it's feelings get in the way of facts. There's no way that company is worth $10 billion. You know, when Roman asks Telly, it's like, is it worth that much? And he goes, well, I guess it's worth what the highest bidder will pay. And Roman's like, oh, wow, I should have went to Harvard to get a business degree, you fucking genius. No, but, with Kendall, as rational as he likes to present himself, a lot of it is still coming from this place of, let's fuck over dad. Even if it is the smart move, I don't know if paying that much is the smart move. And it caught Logan off guard. Like, oh, these kids hate me that much that they're willing to overpay just to spite me. And I think that there's a sadness that his kids are no longer there. And also some of that disappointment of, man, I didn't raise these kids right. They're not killers like I am. They're just stupid.
Fucking morons.
I really think that's going to come back to bite them. It's a great way to set up the rest of the season. If this is the one major mistake where their lives end up spiraling out of control, that makes for great drama.
Yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, their purchase of Pierce is contingent on the sale of Waystar. So then they get their stock. So I'm sure, like, in terms of what we're presented here, something's going to get shaken up. Because I don't see Logan just sitting back and letting them take that from under him.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I didn't even factor that in, that it does play a role, the acquisition of Waystar by Gojo. So there's who knows if he's going to pull out or what the fuck he's going to do. You know, we've seen Skarsgård in the trailers, so it looks like he's going to play a big role moving forward, or a significant role moving forward. But just the interactions between the characters I thought were great. I mean, there's so many funny lines.
What's that?
That was my sister saying that we would hear you better if you took Dad's cock out of your mouth.
I thought Greg and Tom, once again, they always steal the episode. You know, it's been 3 months since the end of season 3, and apparently they're fucking models. They're living the executive life.
The disgusting boys.
The disgusting brothers.
Disgusting brother. How do you become a disgusting brother?
What's so funny about that is that they're not even trying to make it clever. It's just straight up what they are. They're just these disgusting men.
They're just tallying their sexual conquests.
They've gone full-blown hedonists, right? And that's what Greg says at the end of season 3. What was I going to do with the soul anyway?
Yeah.
So now he's just the way he says it to Tom, too, it's like, we're the disgusting brothers. Like, he's so proud of it. Look how far I've come. But you know what? I don't know if you noticed this with Greg. He's a bit sharper. Right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I feel like we've kind of seen that over, the course. It's subtle changes, but he's not that same kid that showed up season 1. A little more mature, stands up a little straighter, hair a little neater. But at the end of the day, he's still like a dork.
I don't want to see what happens in Guantanamo. So you go. You do your ways, and God be willing.
Right. He's still got that social awkwardness. He's never going to shape that. Like
rummaging.
Rummaging. He said Logan kind of smiled, but he was absolutely disgusted with me.
Yeah.
Who wants to smell Greg's finger, hey? Guess the scent.
It was just the perfect interaction because it reminded me of early Tom and Greg, where Tom is just fucking with Greg so much, and he's like, yeah, he's got cameras, closed circuit, he watches it every night. You gotta tell him.
Right, and you don't know if Tom's fucking with him, if he's just trying to get him to admit. I think with Logan and Greg in this episode, maybe Greg reminded him of Kendall, Roy, and Shiv a bit. When he's begging everybody to roast him, and Greg just goes straight for the jugular. It's not a joke whatsoever, it's just the truth.
Where are your kids? Where's all your kids, Uncle Logan? On your big birthday.
And I think even Logan appreciated that, right? Because Logan's style of comeback was always go straight for the heart. He was never clever. It's just, how can I hurt this person? Yeah. And Greg kind of I'll take that. So funny, dude.
That happened.
Now I kind of want to meet Greg's father. What is he up to now? Is he still at the county fair?
Does he work at the fair? Does he just go to the fair?
Right. Oh, so funny, dude. But Tom in this episode, I felt like he was riding high off of the new dynamic he has now with Shiv, right? Gives Shiv a little heads up about Pierce, and he's still fucking with Greg. So like you said, it's similar to those earlier seasons when he had that power over Greg, and it's like he's reverting back to it because he's got this newfound power of being Logan's number 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting with Tom. I mean, does part of you think that he called Shiv intentionally to tell him about Naomi? Because that's what really leads them to put the pieces together, that their father is looking to purchase Pierce. Without Tom's phone call, they don't know anything about that.
Right, yeah, so you're thinking it's a little bit of, I'm going to let Shiv know that I'm out there doing my thing. I don't know, I kind of saw it as almost like an apology.
Yeah.
Like, sorry for fucking you over with Logan. Here's a little assist. Let's see what you could do with it. Can you put together the pieces? And they were
Right,
able
yeah,
to.
I think that could have been a possibility.
Yeah. And I think with the angle there, I don't know, maybe I'm missing it, but I don't know how he benefits from the Roy kids successfully purchasing Pierce. I don't think they're going to bring him on the team. So it really felt like a personal thing. I'm sorry for what I've done. And that final scene between them was super depressing. As you mentioned, the comedy is so good, but the dramatics are super hard hitting at times. That was just a sad back and forth between them.
Yeah, I mean, Shiv, I think she said that, like, they both made mistakes. And, I mean, there are times during the first 3 seasons where Shiv is just basically treating Tom like garbage.
Right.
And here it's kind of reversed because Shiv is the one who seems very upset at Tom. But it's kind of been this back and forth for 3 seasons now where I think they both realize, like, you know, at this point, fighting or it's useless. We kind of know where we're both at. And yeah, it's definitely a sad moment for both those characters.
Yeah, their relationship has been transactional in the sense of Tom obviously trying to climb the corporate ladder. And with Shiv, she gets off on people needing her. Mm-hmm. So with Tom, it was like keeping around a pet that you give a little treat and you tell them to sit and dance and do all your little tricks. But now he's the one holding the leash. Not to get, I was going to say not to get too BDSM. But even there at the end when Tom says, do you want me to make love to you? Is that something that is that something I can give you? Once again, the relationship is so transactional. And really what's sad about Tom's character within this dynamic is that for 3 seasons, he was a punching bag. For Shiv, for Logan, for the entire family. Everybody knew what he was and what he wanted, willing to sacrifice his own dignity for his career, to put up with the abuse. And now that the tables have turned, it doesn't seem like, even though he rubs Shiv's face in it a little bit, it doesn't feel like there's any fulfillment in his life now that he is the one on top. So it's like he betrayed the woman that he does love for nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got all these material things now. He's got the women, he's got the money, he's got the power, but there's something missing. And I think with Shiv, he looks at her and he sees that maybe in a different life, that fulfillment could have came from their relationship, but now there's just no opportunity for that because of all the mud that they've thrown at each other. It's just become such a messy situation, and it makes it heartbreaking.
No, yeah, it was definitely sad. And I think with Tom, like, he still has this uneasiness about his position, or he's not as confident. And I think that's when we seen him in the past, like, have that relationship with Greg where he does fuck with him, is when he doesn't feel comfortable with his own standing and his own position within the family. He, you know, kind of used Greg as an outlet for that. And obviously their relationship has changed now, but we see him kind of, like I said before, revert back to some of those early season days when he's kind of fucking with Greg. And you can tell that he's insecure when he talks to Logan about what would happen to him if he were no longer married to Shiv in like the most roundabout way possible.
I get such a kick out of Brian Cox's facial expressions whenever somebody's trying to ask him an important question. God, he cannot care about any of this. If we're good, we're good. And the way he gives ambiguous answers, the non-answers to everybody's questions, it's, you know, if we're good, we're good. What the fuck does that mean? You know, it means nothing.
Yeah.
And with Tom, he takes it as, oh, okay, yeah, we're still buddies. You know, he'll always appreciate what I did for him at the end of season 3. Where Logan Roy, you know, you're good in one moment, the next moment, you're out of there. So that's what makes his character so funny. But yeah, I got such a kick too out of Tom messing with Greg about his date. And even Kerry was like, is this girl from the apps, Greg? You on the apps, Greg? And Greg said, I'm a cousin. I get a +1. But that was so funny, dude. He's like, look at her bag. What is she keeping in there?
That was a nice bag.
No, it was a funny bag. It's just the idea that she's a corporate spy and
yeah.
Greg unknowingly brought her to this party.
You gotta leave. I tried to take a selfie with Logan.
Yo, once she said that, she's like, we need to leave. I asked Logan for a selfie. You just know right away how he probably responded to that. All right, guys, before we finish this episode, I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Smile Brilliant. Hey, look, I'm a floating head. Bad breath can be an annoying problem to deal with, especially when in social settings like out on a date or recording a podcast with your buddies. Only 2% of the population has enough naturally occurring good bacteria to fight off bad breath and maintain a healthy mouth. What people don't realize is that when brushing your teeth or using mouthwash, you're killing both the good and bad bacteria in your mouth. Unfortunately, bad bacteria grows back much faster than good bacteria. So even if you use these products consistently, you may still find yourself with bad breath. But we have a solution. Smile Brilliant's Dental Probiotics, chewable tablets with concentrated amounts of the healthy bacteria your mouth needs, so that you can speak freely without worrying about any dirty looks from your friends or coworkers. Chewed once a day before bed and after brushing your teeth, these tablets populate your mouth with the good bacteria first, before the bad stuff has a chance to grow back. By repeating this process on a daily basis, studies have shown that you can truly increase the population of good bacteria, while subsequently reducing the population of bad bacteria. Studies have also shown that clinical-grade dental probiotics reduce plaque, cavities, gum inflammation, and of course, bad breath. So head on over to smilebrilliant.com and check out their dental probiotics. You can also browse their selection of other products like mouth guards, electric toothbrushes, whitening gel, whitening trays, water flosser, and more. Plus, you will receive 20% off your order when you use promo code NERDSOUP at checkout. So don't wait. Head on over to their website, choose the products that are right for you, and take care of your teeth. But yeah, Logan's character, as you said, was pretty sad in this episode. You definitely feel the loneliness of not having his kids there, and he's never going to make the call first. So Carrie's trying to get them to call, and she's saying, I could get him to text a request for a call. So ridiculous. But that scene when he becomes a philosopher, when he's sitting down with Colin and they're having that small dinner, when he's talking about his perspective on the world, it makes his character even sadder because he's so cold, where he can't even see other people that aren't in his position as people. He just sees them as numbers. Everything is a market, and he controls the markets. And at the very least, his children humanize him a bit. They can ground him in that reality that everybody else is living in besides him. So that scene, to me, I thought his performance there was some of the best work he's done on the show. As I said, he's talking past Colin, but it's great insight into his psyche and where he is right now and where he has been his entire life, leading him to this point.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a non-sociopath would have those thoughts and then realize, like, well, there might not be anything after this. I already have all the money in the world. What's the one thing I can't buy right now? And that's my relationship with my children. Maybe I should make amends.
No, he never gets to that
no,
point.
I don't think that's never crossed his mind.
No. It's there.
Yeah.
It's hidden deep down, but he just won't confront that aspect of himself. He can't look himself in the mirror and say, I miss my kids. I love my kids. It always has to be expressed through a joke or being mean to somebody. He just can't flat out say it. Unlike his children, who people would say some of them are sociopaths too, but they just got a bit more stability to them, right? Especially when you see Roman and Shiv embrace the way they did, where she comes in, she gives him a kiss on the cheek. Still not with Kendall, right? Kendall's probably the most like Logan, I think, out of the three children. He's been damaged the most because he's got terrible relationships with his kids that the show never addresses. He's just a terrible father.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely... They all got their flaws. Yeah, seeing them together in those moments, even like, just strategizing together, talking together, something that's akin to, how we used to see them before this all went to shit. And even like throughout the whole process of the bidding and just seeing their different perspectives on things and how they kind of work together to finally reach a common goal. And the joy it brought them to do it together. I thought that was, one of the more pleasant moments we've seen from these characters throughout the whole series. It's been nothing but betrayal and backstabbing, and to see them back as a little family unit here, I think it's like one of the rare moments you can actually take and sit back and appreciate before it probably goes to shit again somehow.
Right, you're just thinking in the back of your head, how is Logan going to drive a wedge between them? Because he's going to get his sticky little fingers and try and divide and conquer, as one does. But it was pleasant to see Kendall, his first scene. He's doing a goofy little voice. He's happy to see Roman, and Roman's happy to see him, and they're working together as a team. It was really heartwarming to just see them, like, as you said, united, trying to pitch their company, realizing that there may be a better option. I think it's something to keep your eye on with Roman, that he was the most hesitant to make this move. And maybe the 100 is a bullshit company, but at the very least, it's theirs.
Right.
And they don't have to get back in the ring with their father because they've been taking their licks over time and time again. if I'm in that room, I'm like, guys, let's be realistic. We cannot beat this guy. This motherfucker is Superman. So I think Roman was showing the most maturity, which is funny because you see how far he's come, where in season 1, he's just the goofball.
Right.
The fuck up of the family. The guy's just living off of daddy's money who has no actual responsibility. And now he's the one probably making the most rational choice out of the 3. But eventually they push him into it.
It's definitely sad that he doesn't have his kids on his birthday, but he always has Connor. He'll always be there.
Bro, Connor's presidential election is just so sad. And even Willow's trying to, she's a bit on board with it, right?
Yeah, I feel like she's got that, like, first lady look to her.
Yeah, no,
like,
she does, yeah.
Holding on to that 1%.
She's behind him, yeah, massaging the shoulders.
Yeah.
Craig's saying they're going to squeeze you from 1%. Isn't that the lowest number?
But, like, him saying going under 1% is embarrassing. He's about to spend $100 million to maintain 1% is so fucking funny.
Connor is such a funny character, man. A character like that could be lost in the shuffle and can almost feel like a filler between all the stuff that you want to see, but I get such a kick out of everything he's been trying to do throughout these 4 seasons, and now with his presidential election. So those scenes were very funny.
It's a good business decision. Saving $100 million, getting in a news cycle with a wedding.
Yeah, and episode 3 is called Connor's Wedding, so everybody's going to be there, right? That's probably the first time we may see Logan with the kids. Well, episode 2 is called Rehearsal, so maybe the rehearsal wedding get some moments between Logan and the kids.
There's always the best moments in the show when they've taken some time or a big event happened and the first time they finally reunite. It's always at weddings, I feel like.
And, as united as the kids are, you already hear Shiv talking about keeping her options open. She's not so confident in the company. The Pierce deal could fall through. There's the most important election of their lifetimes, as politicians like to say, coming up. So that's going to be fun, the way they incorporate the election with the battles between the Roy family.
Yeah. And just, the power owning a news network holds when it comes to those things. I mean, Logan, if you ask him, he pretty much is picking the next president of the United States.
Right, and you saw the attention he was paying at the end of the episode when he's watching ATN and he's criticizing the anchor. So maybe the Pierce acquisition will go through, where the kids take control of Pierce, and that's how they kind of battle Logan throughout the season. They have a war through the media, where they have Pierce, Logan's got ATN, he gets a bit more involved, because you see in one of the trailers, he's walking the room. He's in the newsroom, just walking around, towering over people, looking over their shoulders. So I think that could be an interesting way the show goes.
They got to back Gil.
Oh, Gil, right? That's Bernie, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be crazy, dude. They're not going to back Gil. I got a kick out of that line, too, when Tom's telling Logan about why Nan wants to sell. Like, oh, even the left is coming after her. And Logan's like, they eat their own.
He's lost all interest in the business. The left are going after them now.
Savages. They eat their own.
Yeah.
Nan Pierce is fucking hilarious.
She is.
Just the way she pretends like she doesn't care or doesn't want to be involved. Like, I don't want a bidding war. I don't want to be involved. And literally just starts a fucking bidding war. And she's loving every second of it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. She's like, oh, it's so nasty, so disgusting.
What's her number?
What's the number again? Yeah, that gives us something to think about. Yeah, she's great at playing that role of somebody who acts like she's above it all, but clearly is looking for the top dollar payday. So that's funny, where they've always played with that. Oh, the conservatives, look how evil they are. The liberals, they're better, right? No, they're just as money obsessed as the Roy family. And with Nan, that's her angle too, right? Logan hates her. I'm sure Nan hates Logan. So it's a great way to fuck him over at the end, sell to his kids.
Yeah, $10 billion though. It's I don't know how economics work, but it seems like they were kind of bidding against themselves at the end there.
Yeah, I think so, dude. The way Roman was trying to explain to them, do you know how much $500 million actually is?
Yeah.
I mean, you do know what $500 million is, right? $500 million?
No, it was a stupid move. And once again, it's those personal feelings that they can't let go of. It's this opportunity to fuck over dad.
The way Logan was talking about Shiv, too, this episode, like, nasty.
Oh, yeah,
usually
really mean.
Shiv is like, no matter what, kind of his like favorite, Yeah, I don't think maybe Roman, but at this point, it's because he was like the last one. We saw like Roman throughout the series, even in the first vote of no confidence, the way his father was able to change his mind. And at the end of season 3, he's kind of the last one to finally get on board to fully close in on their father.
Right, yeah, he says to Shiv, why don't you get, for the first time in your life, get your own fucking idea. So he's kind of pinning what Kendall and Roman are doing, what the three of them are doing, he's pinning it solely on Shiv. And I think that speaks to a little bit of sexism of his character, that Shiv was always his favorite because she never challenged him. Shiv was always off doing her own thing. But now she's probably his biggest adversary, so he's the meanest to her, right? He can flip on a dime. When Shiv's the sweet little girl, she's the princess.
Yeah.
But now she's the worst out of the three. And she's going to bear the brunt of Logan's wrath.
Congratulations on saying the biggest number, you fucking morons.
So I think it does speak to that, a little bit of sexism, little bit of misogyny. And we'll see the way that he tries to wiggle his way back in there, because, I don't know, out of the three, I think Roman may be the easiest, as you said.
Yeah.
Because it looks like Roman, he's not as scarred by Logan as the other two are.
I mean, he's pretty messed up.
No, he is messed up.
Yeah.
But in terms of, recently, I don't know, he seems to have what Logan did to Kendall and the way Logan built up Shiv to pull out the rug. He turned Kendall into Theon Greyjoy. He literally turned him into Reek.
Yeah, and obviously with Shiv and everything, him basically promising her CEO and using that to control her and then just not giving it to her. Yeah, Roman has never really been in that position to be fully fucked over by his father, but
because even at the end of season 3, right, where it was the final episode where Logan, it was his last resort trying to convince Roman to come on over to him, and the kids are like, don't trust him. Roman feels the most caught between the two,
right,
if you could say that. I think he is very much still on the side of the siblings, but we will see. There may be some wiggle room there. Yeah, Matthew Macfadyen continues to be maybe the best actor in the show, and that's probably because Tom is the most interesting character. I think he's become one of the most compelling because he's just got so many things going on with him. Like I said, his obsession with his career, but now he's sort of confronting what he's lost, and that is Shiv. That final scene between them is just full of the atmosphere in that room, in that apartment. The atmosphere is full of so much regret, so much longing, and a lot of it is coming through their performances. So that scene, I think that was the best scene of the episode, when she walks into the apartment, and it just feels like such a lonely place. Poor Mondale.
No, nothing makes a somber atmosphere or environment more than just like a lonely looking house.
Yeah.
Fucking 3 stories in the city too. God damn. And it's such a weird environment because, normal people, get divorced and that's kind of it. But being in the positions they're going to have to interact after this. So
right,
we'll see. I mean, the whole series is built on strained relationships and their dynamics. So, call me optimistic, but maybe they can patch things up, Maybe they can reconcile, come back together.
Yeah, we will see. It's so hard to predict this show because the writing is so realistic. And that's another thing I wanted to compliment about the dialogue. This is one of the best written episodes, I think, of the series. And maybe I'll have to go back and rewatch, but the dialogue just always feels so natural. These situations always feel so real and genuine. Like, these are the real things that people would say and respond to. It's never overly clever. It always fits the characters' personalities that they've built. But at times, it's just so sharp. Yeah. And it catches you by surprise and makes you laugh and makes you think. So the writing was just so tight in this episode, and that's something I appreciated. And I think like I said, with Macfadyen as Tom, but also Sarah Snook as Shiv continues to be one of the best actors on this show. Like I said, every delivery she absolutely nails.
No, really everyone plays their role perfectly. And that's something that you kind of don't lose appreciation for, but it's, after 3+ seasons of this, it's a testament to their performances and the dialogue where everything just flows so naturally. And it, like you said, it just seems like it's actually happening, like an actual conversation that you're spying in on. And that's just a testament to everyone involved.
Yeah, and I think at times, sometimes the writing caters to memes and Twitter and the online fan base, but I didn't notice that whatsoever in this episode. All the writing felt very genuine to what the characters were going through and where the story is heading. So it's going to be a fun episode to look back on when the season does end, to see what they were foreshadowing. But overall, I thought it was just a great start to season 4, man. And if the whole season keeps the quality of this episode, we're in for an all-time great season of television.
Yeah, because like we all know that, or most people think that the show isn't going to end with everybody just being like, let's all forget the past. Let's reconcile. Let's be a family again. And just ride off into the sunset. So like every move that's made this season is going to be looked under like a lens of how is that going to fuck somebody over, or how is this going to cause even a further divide within the family. So it's almost like every move they make is going to be criticized going forward, because you just feel like in some way or another it's going to have unintended consequences.
All right, guys, that does it for our review of Succession Season 4, Episode 1. Probably the only video we're going to do for this season because nobody watches these, so. But hey, I had fun.
That's all that matters at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I think for most people, yeah, it's about having fun. No, it's about making money.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, if anything, I mean, Succession showed us that.
Yeah, it's pretty Logan Roy of you.
Bogan Roy?
Ooh.
Take that to the bank.
Wow, that was probably our best review yet. Hey guys, Aaron the Nerd Soup Monkey here with a brief shameless plug before we end the video. Do you ever feel like you don't have an adequate amount of nerd soup in your life? Like you're going to bed hungry and yearning for the nonsensical yet entertaining nutrients our podcasts provide? Well, we've come up with the perfect solution. The Nerd Soup Fan Question Podcasts, exclusively available to our Patreon supporters. You can sign up now by visiting patreon.com/nerdsoup, and for the price of only $1 per month, you'll receive exclusive access to our weekly podcast where we answer your questions that don't make it to the main show. And while you're there, you can check out the other rewards we offer to our patrons, like stickers, mugs, t-shirts, behind-the-scenes footage, and appearing in the credits at the end of our videos. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Roll the names of the nerds who make Nerd Soup possible. The reason why the crypto crash didn't send our lives spiraling down a black hole of no return. Alright, I'll stop talking so you can listen to this jazzy-ass music while checking if Beau spelt your name wrong in the credits.